More than 99% of all species of animals that have ever inhabited planet Earth have gone extinct. Animals are now going extinct at such an alarming rate that scientists have dubbed it a state of emergency, referring to it as the next great extinction. Animals are dying off at a rate not seen before on this planet since the fall of the dinosaurs. While it is commonly accepted that human activity is a major driving force behind such a rapid extinction, there must be some natural forces, right? From horses to tigers, and even our ancient cousins, you won't believe how many of this planet's beloved animals are close to going extinct and being lost to the sands of time. This video features some animals that we could never imagine the planet without. Here's our list of 10 animals that are going extinct. Number 10. Peacocks. The not-so-humble peacock. These loud and proud birds boast perhaps the most beautiful collection of tail feathers in the animal kingdom. In medieval Europe, the peacock was the must-have accessory for any serious royal family, due to their incredible colours which signified wealth. Nowadays, however, the cultures which once worshipped these birds are killing them off. Across Asia, where the birds were originally from, they are seen as a pest and are constantly the intended target of poison and traps. While in an urban environment, once large groups are being split up and slowly dying off due to inbreeding and lack of food. Combined with hunting for meat and feathers, as well as the loss of natural habitat, spells bad news for the always beautiful and once treasured peacock. Number 9. The Przewalski Horse. At number 9 on our list, we find the last true wild horse, thought to be impossible to domesticate despite many ancient and recent cultures' attempts. The Pavelski Horse is truly the wild animal of Asia. In 1969, this majestic animal actually went extinct due to military actions 20 years earlier, which destroyed many horses and their habitat, causing their numbers to dwindle to only 12. And due to their roaming nature, they were unable to find each other and reproduce. In 1992, however, scientists managed to breed 2 horses found in an animal reserve, and by 2000, their numbers were back up to 1,500 animals. Now, however, it is thought that there are only 300 wild horses left roaming the plains. Are these animals destined to go extinct? Maybe not. In 1998, a group of horses were released into Chernobyl and are believed to actually be growing in number despite the radiation. Number 8. Hedgehogs. These spiny little animals have inhabited our planet for over 15 million years without much change to their DNA and lifestyle. Now, however, their numbers are rapidly falling, and they are now even on the endangered species list. A distant relative of the shrew, the hedgehog inhabits 3 major continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. The biggest threat to the hedgehog is once again us. For millions of years, their spikes have warded off attacks from larger predators, but now they face a new threat: plastic. In search for food, they will plunge their head into anything without thinking of how they'll be able to get out. In other cultures, the hedgehog is desired for its supposed medicinal properties. In Morocco, it is thought that inhaling the smoke of burning spines and skin will cure fevers and impotence, while in Asia, they are used for witchcraft, as some believe their meat is magical. Number 7. Bees. What would the world be without bees? Probably nothing. Coming in at number 7 is a major shock: the bee. Both the common bumble and honeybee are facing mass extinction as their numbers have declined at a never-before-seen rate. These adorable honey and pollen machines are vital to Earth's ecosystems and can also recognize human faces, being able to tell people apart. One of the hardest working animals on Earth, the bees now face extinction. When we think of the countryside, we think of crops and livestock, but it used to be much more wild. Bees would pollinate all fruits and flowers and have plenty of food for themselves, as well as us. But now, due to an increase in crops, livestock and chemicals used to treat both, bees face an almost certain fate unless we radically change our ways. Number 6. Hummingbirds. At number 6 on our list, we find the world's smallest and indeed lightest bird. The hummingbird, weighing as little as 2 grams. This remarkable bird is more than just tiny. It is incredible. being the only bird that is able to both hover and fly backwards. The hummingbird defied belief when it was first discovered, as they perfectly fit into their environment, with each species sharing unique features with its surrounding area. However, due to both illegal and legal logging campaigns, the environments they are adapted for are fast disappearing, and they are struggling to readapt to new ecosystems with any real success. As well as deforestation, climate change is playing a major role in the decline of hummingbirds. With more extreme seasons, food cycles have become unpredictable and at times non-existent. Many hummingbirds now rely on humans to leave food out for them just to survive, as nature can no longer provide for them. Number 5. Zebras. Perhaps the most majestic of all animals to be found in Africa. The zebra, thought to be a staple of the African landscape, must now rely on conservation efforts to sustain numbers found in the wild. For the zebra, history is repeating itself. In 1930s, they were used for sport, exported around Europe to be used instead of horses by the wealthy, and were hunted for their skin and meat so heavily that their numbers dropped to a record low. Nowadays, they face a threat from loss of habitat due to land being turned into farmland for crops and livestock. They also must compete for food and water with the cattle that are allowed to graze on the plains. Despite laws and conservation efforts, there are some who still seek to hunt the zebra, and those who won't kill the animals for themselves can buy pelts and meat from poachers who feed the desires of those wealthy and cold enough to buy zebra skin. Number 4. The giant panda. One of planet Earth's most iconic animals, the giant panda, whose translated name means bear cat. In the wild exists on a diet almost exclusively of bamboo, and in captivity on a much more varied selection of fruits and vegetables. The panda relies on human intervention in order to not go extinct, as it should be, because human behavior, specifically deforestation, farming, and property and business development, have driven this panda out of its natural habitat. But conservation efforts are proving positive for this iconic bear. Successful reproduction programs around the world, most notably in China, have seen the numbers grow quite remarkably, allowing zoos to release them back into the wild. For once, it may not all be our fault. Pandas have an incredibly low birth rate, but it's believed this is exaggerated by removing and fragmenting them from their natural habitats. Number 3. White rhinos. Coming in at number 3 is the northern white rhino. The numbers of these awe-inspiring animals are at a record low in the animal kingdom. In the 1970s, their population was reduced from over 500 to just 15 as a result of poachers. And before that, it steadied between 2,000 and 3,000. The numbers have been decreasing without fail ever since they were first hunted for their horns, and the supposed healing abilities of their flesh and skin, although it is estimated that 9 out of 10 rhinos killed were for their horns. At times, and even still today, it is not uncommon to find a dying rhino with its horn cut off. Once the northern whites go, it'll only be a matter of time before the next species. Now there are only 3 left, all of which are in a semi-wild state, constantly guarded by armed personnel. From the early 90s, their population began to rise up again into the 30s, but that was short-lived, as the modern white rhino became officially extinct in the wild in 2007. Number 2. Gorillas. Taking the number 2 spot on our list is our second closest relative after the chimpanzee, the gorilla. These fascinating animals can use tools, have strong family bonds, and even be taught sign language to communicate with humans. But sadly, this is not enough to prevent the gorilla from being wiped out as a result of human activity. Now labeled as critically endangered, on the very edge of going extinct, these marvelous animals die almost exclusively at the hands of us. Deforestation, being hunted for bushmeat, and even contracting human diseases through the hunters they encounter, like Ebola, are just a few of the very reasons why the numbers of these cousins of ours are dwindling. The issue of extinction is so severe that the United Nations has taken direct action to protect them, protecting them by international law. Further conservation efforts include everything from zoo breeding programs to grassroots protection schemes, where locals deny wrongdoers entry to the forests. One thing is for sure, the Earth would never be the same without the gorilla. Number 1. The white Bengal tiger. At number 1 on our list, we find the Bengal tiger. In the wild, it was a breed of Bengal tiger, but in an effort to sustain their numbers and make them larger, breeders have mated them with Siberian tigers, with terrible consequences. Nearly all suffer from defects and have shortened lifespans, with only 200 of this kind left. The white Bengal tiger is one of the rarest animals on the planet, especially given its mysterious nature and its habitat in the tundras of North Asia. What's most sad for these animals is that pretty much all of them that we currently know about exist in captivity and have no protected status, as none officially remain in the wild, unlike the gorilla and white rhino. As a result, they are bought and sold like expensive cars, with zoos functioning as middlemen for the rich. These truly beautiful creatures currently only exist in a life of misery and captivity, so far from their wild roots, it's more than sad. Our collective disregard for nature and the greedy lust of the rich have led the future of the white Bengal tiger to look almost non-existent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. Sadly, there are thousands more animals facing extinction around the world, and this video was just a small slice of the environmental destruction we humans are causing. Comment down below which animal was your favourite on this list. I think mine might be the rhino. And also, comment down below what you think we should do as a society about animal extinction. How do you think we can solve it? Give the video a like or a dislike, and make sure you subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.